Alright, so it's another season that begins, and you know, as always, the prop companies are all going to come out with these new offerings, so I figured that it would be a good moment to take a look at what was new on the market. Did this last season when the F3 and F4 Gemfans came out, compared them to the P3s. And over the last 2 years, it kind of became the go-to to have 5.1 inch props. So even the S3, S4s were followed up by the P3s that were 5.1 inch, and it would seem that this year you're a nobody if you're not running 4.9 inch. I've got the Gemfan Sbang, that's 4.9 by 3.4. I've got the Gemfan Vannystyle. These are 5136, like the F3S props from Gemfan, so I'm kind of curious to, I've flown those before, so I'm curious to see how these compare. And another one in the 4.9 inch, she's been out for a little while now, the J37 from HQ Prop. These are 4.9 by 3.7. And finally I've got these Axisflying 4943.5, which, so 4.9 by 4.3.5, 4.3.5, no, that's not right. Anyways, so that's what we're going to be trying out. I'm going to start off with the F3s on my handy little FedTech Apex. I've got the Steel Stout V3 Legacies on here. It's just a classic FedTech analog Apex build. So I'm going to fly the F3S just to kind of get a benchmark. I'm going to be flying only, these are actually all brand new, 1000 milliamp hour GNB 120C 6S. So I'm going to fly them for 2 minutes each, so I can also see how much current was drawn from the batteries, see if some are more efficient than others, and hopefully these results will be useful for me as well as you. So let's get to it. I'm going to try and keep these flights consistent. I'll do a few power loops, a few snappy moves, a few low ground stuff. Let's see what's what. So here we go with the F3s. So these are my daily drivers. Already quite used to them. Oh, that didn't work. It's our reference pack. So the F3S, after 2 minutes, I used up 313 milliamp hours. So let's move on to our next offering. All right, so now I've got, well, I really didn't think this through color-wise, because I got a whole bunch of blue props, and color doesn't really agree with this tan quad, but that really doesn't matter, does it? They'll fly just the same. So I've got now the Vannystyle Gemfan Vannystyles. These are 5.1 inch 3.6 pitch length Gemfan F3S, which, as I said earlier, I've flown before, so the shape of the blade is definitely different, the profile. So let's get this in the air and see what's what. I'm expecting the throttle control to be different than what I'm used to naturally. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, Definitely gets up off the ground quicker. They sound a little deeper, but not quite as noisy. Good control. Prop wash looks good. Carry a bit more speed, which is, as you know, I expect. They actually feel kind of smooth. Like there's, I think they're heavier, so they're not as snappy and responsive as the F3. They're probably also, I haven't checked the weights, but they're probably also heavier than the F4S. Those are pretty light. So yeah, they don't feel as responsive, but they feel smooth, which I guess fits nicely with Vannystyle, because he likes that kind of smooth, juicy-ish stuff. Let's bring it down. And that's 345 milliamp hours spent. Alright, so we were already running through the Gemfans. Decided to follow up, stay in the same. These are the Gemfan Sbang. These are 4.9 inch by 3.4 pitch. Funny thing about these is that they come, which I don't think is actually a bad idea, they come in bags of either clockwise or counterclockwise instead of having a bag with both. So yeah, let's try these out, see what's going on. So here we go with the Gemfan Sbang 4934. Oh, these feel nice. They're responsive. Yeah, they're really snappy. And they kind of, I mean, they're made to be snappy, and that's the advantage of those 4.9 inch props, is that there's less weight, so you get better response. I'm having to give a little bit more throttle, I'd say, than with my F3S.
1 minute.
So even when I'm giving it some prop wash, it's really not that bad. That wasn't what I wanted, but whatever. That was 337 milliamp hours. But I cut it a bit short, that flight. It wasn't quite at 2 minutes yet. They take a little more than the F3S, it looks like. And the Vannystyles looked like they probably took about the same as this, because I did 2 minutes and 8 seconds with the Vannystyles. So let's move on. Alright, so now these are the HQ prop J37 Juicy props. So these are 4.9 again by 3.7 pitch. These ones have been around a little bit longer. You know, sorry ahead of time if these flights are not super exciting. I'm not really going for mind-blowing anything. Goal here is really just to get an idea of how the props compare in the same conditions, same day, same packs, same amount of wind and everything, just to make it nice and fair. So I'll get right to it. Got one more after this and I'm almost out of light, so here we go with the HQ J37. These actually feel a lot more like these feel quite a bit more like my F3S in terms of like where the throttle position is. Not much prop wash. I'm really liking these. I think for some reason I'm kind of overestimating the amount of push that I'll get from them.
1 minute.
Like when I'm throwing myself back or doing power loops, I'm not getting as far back as I expect to go. I'm not sure why that is. I would have expected a little bit more of a thrust, considering the pitch. But they're very responsive. Yeah, I like these. That was 2 minutes 3 seconds, and we took 400 milliamp hours out of it though. And I was kind of wondering if I wasn't being softer on the throttle with it, but you know, at the end I started giving a little harder punches. But so they definitely take more juice out of your pack, but they fly really nice. They feel smooth, but they're responsive. The amount of thrust feels kind of consistent with what I'm used to on 5.1 inch 3 pitch. So yeah, these I'm impressed. They just use up a noticeable amount of battery, more than the others. Just as we run out of sunlight, I have just enough time to get to the last props in this roundup. These are the Axisflying 43.5, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 4.3.5 pitch, 4.9 inch, like the last two. My buddy Carpath FPV has picked these out as his go-to prop for this season, at least for now. That seems to be the case. He likes the responsiveness and the thrust, and the way it changes direction. They're really snappy. And he was flying on the P3B, so the P3 biblades before that. A bit of a drastic change, but yeah, he's getting really good results with those. So let's get right to it. Get these off the ground. I'm expecting them to drain the battery even more than the J37s did. And actually, I'm a bit surprised the Vanny props were so efficient. Didn't expect that. All right, so here we go. Yep, they're responsive. say I got light on the throttle there and it barely started to give me any wobble.
1 minute.
Yeah, I can see why you like these. Yeah, these actually feel really nice. Throttle point feels about the same as the J37, I'd say, which were consistent also with the F3S. Oh, overrunning my time here. Huh. Okay, so that was 2 minutes 10, which is about what I did with the Vannystyle props. Let's see, we did 420 milliamp hours. Maybe I did push this one a little harder. They were fun. They're nice to fly. They felt nice. It's tough. It's a tough call, to be honest. I was really looking forward to trying the Gemfans, the Sbang props. For some reason, I guess on paper you could say I like the setup, the amount of pitch for the amount of prop, and those were a disappointment. Well, they didn't stand out in the test. I mean, they're good, they flew well, but they didn't stand out against the rest. The J37s were really good. A lot of people like those props lately, and I can see why. They fly really well. They, you know, dug into the battery a little more than the Sbang props or the F3S. These Axisflying ones are a big surprise. I mean, they fly, I really like the way they fly, but they seem to, you know, draw even more battery, which would be consistent with more pitch, as you would expect. The big surprise for me was the Vannystyles. I was really just expecting, you know, another F4S, which is basically just an F3S with more pitch, so a little more pop, a little more speed, but they feel really smooth. They feel, I mean, not as responsive because they're heavier, but somehow that kind of made them feel nice. I'm gonna have to fly them all again, if I'm honest, just to really make up my mind, because 2 minutes, I mean, I only did 2-minute flights because I wanted to get them all in the same conditions, but I'm probably going to continue to try them out, because, you know, there's a few in here that I think I might prefer over my F3S props that I've been flying. I guess once I've made up my mind, or at least I've got more conclusive results, I'll make an update, let you guys know how things are. I mean, I doubt I'm going to do real intentional crash testing, but there's going to be some crashing with these props. Yeah, I'll get back to you on my final decision. In the meantime, happy flying.